Girlfriend had another guy over to our house. He gave her a massage. Is this cheating? My girlfriend had one of her coworkers over while I was at work. He gave her a massage and they hung out another time. I found out when she got an email from this guy in the middle of the night. I opened her phone and found out they had been extremely flirty, saying things like maybe you'll go lower next time, to which she replied I wouldn't have minded. I immediately woke her up and asked her about it. She denied it until I told her I read the messages. She swears nothing else happened, and from what I could tell from the emails, she isn't lying. I told her that if they ever speak again that it'd be gone without question, and through all of this, she never apologized. She cried and said she felt horrible and that she wasn't good enough for me, but still never said sorry. Later, I talked to the guy about it. He gave the exact story she did, that it was a one-time massage. He also said that they got lunch one day and he gave her a ride to a friend's, but she never told me that when I asked if there was anything else I didn't know. The guy is married and was previously in marriage counseling. So when I said I was telling his wife, he said he works change shifts, quit his job, do anything for me to not do that. I told him I wanted them to never speak again, and that if I ever heard of them even speaking again, I would tell his wife. So after all of the story, I'm left with some need for advice. I do consider it cheating, but I don't see it as severe cheating, if that makes sense. So what should I do? And as far as the guy goes, it feels wrong that I am not telling his wife, but if she leaves him, I have no leverage to keep him away from my girlfriend. It feels selfish and he hate it, but I don't see too many options that end well for everyone. And if my girlfriend told his wife about it, he was pissed off. He tried to message my girlfriend later to meet up again and she rejected him. She did that without me saying anything. I only found because he sent me the screenshots. So she denied him without any input from me. I'm going to keep it on thin ice for right now. My girlfriend 100% understands why and is still supportive. I will keep you guys updated, but as of right now, she denied doing it again when she had an easy opportunity to. So I'm going to stick around. Maybe he'll get hurt again. But even if I do, at least it'll be easier to leave because I know she'd do it again. Final update. I told his wife. He tried to message my girlfriend, and when he did, she immediately came to me, showed me the message, and then shut it down. She also moved places at work to get away from him. I'm still kind of anxious about this, but my girlfriend has full out apologized without me asking and talked about it. Since then, her communication has been amazing. She is still feeling very guilty as she should, and I told her it's going to be a while before she has my complete trust again. But I do want to work on it. I understand that many of you think I had my mind made up and that I was just looking for someone to say what I wanted. But here's why that's not the case. What y'all didn't know is that I talked to my family about moving back in and was truly considering just leaving anyways. Although for this post, I wanted to take the middle ground and see what others would say. I do thank all of you so much for the support and the comments. It's nice knowing that there are people out there who'd take the time for this. I am going to stay, put my effort into this relationship. And if it doesn't work out, she does it again, then so be it. But I know that if it does work out, it will be beautiful. Thank you all again for the comments. Thank you all so much for the help and advice. I do really appreciate it, and I wish the best for you all. If any of you ever need anything, feel free to message me. Much love to you all. I have no leverage to keep him away from my girlfriend. Dude, how do you type a sentence like that and not see how unhealthy this relationship is? If you need leverage to stop your girlfriend fucking around with other men, and that leverage isn't you, then either prepare for a relationship where you are the joke, or wake up and see how much your relationship is a joke. Heartbreak fades with time. Pride lasts a lifetime. I think I'm just trying to control everything about this situation. Because with that leverage I'm controlling him to not even come at my girlfriend. Dude even told me he'd quit his job if that's what I wanted. There's no light in severe cheating. The damage of cheating isn't the PP. It's the breach of trust and mutual understandings and the disrespect and lies that accompany it. Emotional cheating is cheating. Physical cheating is cheating. Massage from a stranger in a non-professional environment is cheating. Kissing is cheating. If it's not mutually agreed upon offs, it affects you all the same. I'm not telling you to divorce. I'm saying it's a big deal. Second story. I 27 male found out that my high school sweetheart wife 26 female slept with multiple men during our short non-divorce separation. Advice. My wife Delilah and I have been having issues for the past year. Mostly our personal issues, declining mental health causing marital issues. We've been together for almost 10 years, married for 3, and things were amazing for the first 9. In April, we decided to separate for a few months so that we can work on our issues and to give her space to study for a big exam. Although we knew it was a possibility, we had no intentions on divorcing. We had just started marriage counseling. In mid-June, Delilah asked to cut off all contact with me, including counseling, while she studied for her big exam. I pushed back at first, desperately warning her that the distance would cause more issues, but finally agreed in support of her studying. We go almost 2 months without hardly any contact. She gave a cold reply to my short but sweet happy 3rd anniversary. I love you message. A week after her exam, Delilah apologizes for being so cold to me and explains that she has had a change of heart and wants to make things work with me. She comes up to where I was staying, different state, near all our family, and we spent a lot of great time together. A little over a week later, one of her friends tells me that Delilah was on Tinder and has been actively trying to date and sleep with other men. She had a consistent duck buddy starting in June, slept around with a bunch of randos on Tinder, and then started an actual romantic relationship with one of her former classmates on Monday. As we talked about our plans moving forward with the marriage, I asked Delilah repeatedly if there was anything I should know, or anything she wanted to get off her chest. She looked me square in the eyes and said no each time. I confronted her, told her that I knew, and we had long discussions about everything she did. She explained that her mental health is awful and it was a coping mechanism, and that she was going to tell me when we started counseling again. I explained that above all else, the blatant lying and deceit is a deal breaker for me. She's trying so hard to get me to do counseling and work through this. I am absolutely heartbroken at the idea of this beautiful 10-year relationship ending, but I struggle to see a future where I can trust her again. How do you guys rebuild that trust? Is it fair to blame these actions, and the blatant lying, on mental health issues? 3rd story. My girlfriend 30 female and I 32 male recently broke up due to concerns about the future. We decided it made sense logically, but are both devastated. Not sure if we made the right decision. Breakups. Hey all, very long story. Itakuppa. I 32 male moved to Korea to teach English in 2012. My original plan was to stay for 2 years, travel, save some money and get some extra teaching experience before returning home to train as a teacher. I met my girlfriend 30 female a few months after arriving, and after a few months started dating. We fell deeply in love and my original plan was scrapped as I continued to renew contracts as an English teacher, year after year. Fast forward to 2019 and my 30th birthday reminded me of my mortality and the fact that I didn't have a stable job or career and felt the ESL industry does not have a bright future. Low barrier to entry, stagnant wages, no career progression, disruption by new technology, online learning, low birth rate in Korea, missing Christmases, birthdays and other family events over the years was also starting to take its toll. I have a twin brother with whom I am very close, and my family is tight-knit in general, and I was generally becoming a bit dissatisfied with life in Korea, friends frequently leaving, language barrier despite my reasonably fluent Korean, cultural differences, terrible pollution for large parts of the year, etc. Trying to peer into the distant future, I couldn't really envisage myself being a particularly happy retiree in Korea, despite how happy we were as a couple. So I decided to return to the UK to become qualified as a science teacher as a way to give me an internationally recognized qualification in a less competitive subject, and b give me an opportunity to experience living in the UK to directly compare it to my life in Korea, rather than with the romanticized version of the UK I most likely had in my head. She supported me fully and understood my reasons for wanting to do so. So I returned to the UK last September and completed the course, but still need to teach for another 2 years before I am fully qualified. We couldn't see each other during my training because of COVID, but we talked every day and exchanged messages frequently. It wasn't easy, but we made it work. I felt like she was still a huge part of my daily life and me of hers, and knowing I could see her in the summer gave us both something to look forward to. We talked about our options going forward both before I left Korea and then rather frequently while I was in the UK, which were A. I returned to Korea to teach English, B. I returned to Korea to teach science at an end school, C. She comes to the UK, D. We break up. Option A. I still think my doubts about the feasibility of a stable career teaching English outlined above hold water. Also, this would be going back to the same dead-end job I left before I was qualified as a teacher. X. Option B. Teaching science at an end school would be amazing, but these jobs are famous for being difficult to get. I would be asking her to wait 2 more years while I finish my training for the possibility of me getting one of these jobs. Option C. She doesn't want to live in the UK. She has a great job in Korea and it is where her family is. Asking her to leave that behind would not be fair. X. Option D. We skirted around the possibility, but I don't think either of us wanted to even think about it. X. This summer I returned to Korea to visit her, would have gone earlier, but COVID. In the first week after my quarantine we went to visit her parents, and her father was obviously interested to know what our future plans were. He was suggesting I come back to the city where her parents live and get any old job and marry his daughter. I told him that the situation wasn't that simple and that my girlfriend and I were still discussing our options. Once we were back at her place, we realized we couldn't really keep skirting around the issue and we needed to make a decision. We both wrote down what our priorities are and what we want in life, and doing so kind of made it seem clear that the only option that worked for both of us long term was the option that neither of us wanted, option D. Reality sunk in, we cried, and started tentative steps towards it. We spent another week together, going to favorite restaurants and the places we dated. The night before I left was the hardest of my life, and the airport was absolutely awful. I now know why they call it heartbreak. It is a pain I don't wish on anybody. I have been back in the UK for about 3 weeks now. The pain has gotten more manageable, but I still love her and am struggling not having her in my life anymore. We still exchange the odd message, but we are slowly easing off. I was blessed to meet her and don't think I can find a love like that again. I enjoy living in the UK and it has been great being closer to family. But now that she isn't part of my life, everything seems a little hollow and empty. I am now doubting whether we made the right call. And maybe I should have put more faith in my ability to get an end school job and to be satisfied with visits to see family when possible. I am so torn. I feel like whatever I choose I will regret it. Too long didn't read. I returned to the UK to study for a PGCE after 8 years in Korea with my girlfriend. I couldn't see myself living until retirement in Korea and she didn't want to live in the UK. We decided to break up but are both devastated. Not sure if we made the right decision. Hey, another Korea ESL teacher here, getting ready to leave at the 30-year mark. So I fully understand why you don't see yourself returning here, even if it is to an international school. Deciding a future in cross-cultural relationships is always going to be tough, but unfortunately it seems like for both of you, the sacrifices just don't add up. And that's a really tough and scary thing to admit. But it's okay for both of you to put yourselves and your goals first. Give yourself more time. I ended a 5-year relationship here in Korea when I realized that he wasn't ever going to compromise on the future, and I kind of see that attitude in your GF. Since she wouldn't even consider living some time in the UK, I genuinely thought I was going to be alone for the rest of my life, that I'd made a huge mistake breaking up with him, etc. I took almost a year to even think about dating again, and COVID made it harder. Only to meet someone I can say is a better love and relationship because our visions of the future match and are being built together. I think you nailed it right here. I was blessed to meet her. You had a lovely time together, but as you know, love isn't always enough. You're in different places literally and figuratively, and it wasn't sustainable long term. But you had a great relationship. Didn't have any animosity or bitterness in the end when real life set in. That's not nothing. It's still very new. You only separated a few weeks ago. You will feel a little better every day, until you're ready to meet someone else. And you'll always have your memories with her, who maybe someday you'll be great friends with. Listen to your logical side. Your concerns about staying there were well founded. In the short term it hurts, but in the long term I think you were being very smart. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.